Hello, offenders. Offend fascism at every turn, every chance you get. Offend fascism and the fascists. Therefore, hello, offenders. Some things ran across my feed this morning, my family room television, so I felt I need to speak out about some of it. Hence the title, ICE. Mass graves and trafficking? Question mark? It's a question mark. Just barely. Because it almost seems like this is at least one of the purposes of ICE, or one of the manifestations of ICE, is trafficking. And quite possibly, there are mass graves already, which is to be expected when you round up and detain this many people. A la 1933 or the 30s in Germany, and the mass graves that came along with that. So this video, The Rational National, this individual from The Rational National is a progressive, I'm guessing, a leftist, so to speak. And as we know, the progressives and the leftists are advertising for Mamdani, left and right. Mamdani is their man. Mamdani identifies himself as a socialist, which couldn't be further from the truth. He's no socialist. He's bourgeois, you could be. He's a member of the bourgeoisie, for sure. His wife, for example, she is so privileged. They're Muslim bourgeoisie. She's incredibly privileged, and he is too. He's born into privilege. His mom's a filmmaker. Films backed by the Qatari government, by the way. His father's a renowned scholar and poet. He's received accolades around the world, gets high-paying academic positions within universities. So these are two privileged Muslim members of the bourgeoisie. Okay, they're not socialists by any means, unless you mean socialism for the rich, which the Qatari government is, right? Socialism for the rich. That's what all the Arab countries are, socialism for the rich. And their Mamdani and his wife are emblematic of that. His wife's parents are Syrian, from Damascus, moved to America. The father's a computer engineer. The mother's a doctor. They're wealthy. She lived a life of privilege. And then they decided, after living in America for a while in Houston, they decided they wanted to move to Dubai. To Dubai, a haven for transnational criminals, Dubai, who have stolen a shit ton of loot, and they moved to Dubai to protect it and to evade capture. This is what one of many things Dubai is notable for. These incredibly profligate, corrupt Arab countries. America is corrupt too. I'm not saying we're exceptional in that regard, but these Arab countries are off the hook. And that's what Donald Trump wants to do here in America. He wants to be off the hook like Russia. He wants to be off the hook like the Arab countries. This is the way he wants it too. Just rampant criminalization. Grifters at the highest level, sucking it all dry at the expense of the unwashed. So the Rational National thinks that this imposter, Mamdani, and is, interested in helping these poor immigrants resist ICE. And so he points to a video Mamdani's created here. I'm not going to show it, but Mamdani tells you about how to resist ICE. As if. As if. It's ridiculous, folks. It's ridiculous in the face of what these people are experiencing. In order for his fellow New Yorkers to resist ICE, they're going to need the help of the New York Police Department. But they're never going to receive that. That's not what the New York Police Department's do. They're not there to help the little people, the unwashed. They're there to do whatever the establishment wants done. And the establishment wants these people terrorized, manhandled, detained, and ultimately disappeared and or trafficked. That's what the establishment wants right now. The New York Police Department is an annex of Israel. You might as well call it the Israeli Police Department. They all were trained there. They have a great relationship with the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces. And the Israelis are training and have been training police forces around the country, all over America, on how to treat unwashed Americans as the IDF treats Palestinians, as though these police departments, these police jurisdictions, are an occupying force, protecting the homeland from the unwashed for the oligarchy. That's effectively what's happening. So do you think the New York Police Department is going to come out and help defend the rights of these immigrants? He's here telling you, you know your rights. Your rights don't matter at this point. They're trampling all over them. They don't care. They've shredded your rights. Rights no longer matter. You can sit there and claim, I've got rights. They don't care. If this guy meant what he was talking about, he would kick Qatar out of New York as soon as he takes office in January. The Qataris, along with the Israelis, or along with Jewish people overall, own the lion's share of New York real estate, Manhattan real estate. Or New York real estate, Queens too. They own it, lock, stock, and barrel. And he's talking about how rents are sky high. Well, it's because of the Qataris and the Israelis and the Jewish people that they're sky high. So if you want that to change, you're going to have to get rid of the old landlords, dude. And you're going to have new landlords. Are you willing to do that? No, he's not willing to do it. He's not going to do that. He is not going to do that. It's not going to happen. He can try to slap rent freezes on, do things like that, but it's going to be purely ceremonial. It won't have any truly comprehensive effect on rents in New York. He's an imposter. He's an absolute imposter. He's the opposite side of the coin of Donald Trump, but it's the same coin. He's an populist opportunist pretending. He's a poseur. And what do we have here? You know he's a poseur, because look at this. Look at this. They're yucking it up. He met with Donald Trump. You do not meet with the enemy. Do not meet with the enemy. I don't remember De La Guardia meeting with Adolf Hitler, okay? Adolf Hitler. So why would you meet with Trump? You don't meet with the enemy. You don't platform the enemy. You rebuke the enemy. You ostracize the enemy. You spit on the enemy. You grind the enemy beneath your heel and stomp it out. You do not meet with it. You do not legitimate it. All these world leaders that come to the Oval Office and kiss this creep's ring. It's like he truly is the Antichrist, isn't it? This despicable Jabba the Hutt character, this awful creature. He's a creature. And they all fawn over him and compliment him and give him gifts and kiss his ring. Like, what's going on here? What is really going on? Are they this craven and venal? I knew they were craven and venal, but I didn't realize to this extent that they kiss his ring. And Mamdani is no different. This is despicable. Kissing this abominable creature's ring, legitimating him, platforming him. This is the enemy of all that is righteous and good and decent. He's the enemy of the unwashed, even though so many of the unwashed, in the form of MAGA, support him. And yet Mamdani's right there, doing as all other world leaders were doing. Not that he's a world leader, but he is about to be the leader of a substantial city in the United States, one of the most substantial. And he's kissing the ring. So, dude, get real here, Rational National. Get real. He's already talking about working with the head of the New York Police Department, who is a Jewish woman who is a staunch supporter of Israel. She's an Israel firster, as a matter of fact. And Israel is on board with Trump's treating average Americans, unwashed Americans, as though they're Palestinians, and his regime, which includes ICE now, as a terrorizing unit, as an occupying force. We are all Gazans now. We are all Palestinians now. Palestine, Palestinians, Gazans, it's a class war, folks. And it's coming home to roost. Big time. Big time. We are all Gazans now. We are all Palestinians now. That is how Donald Trump and the wealthy elite here in oligarchia, not America, oligarchia, view us. And Mamdani is part of it. He's absolutely part of it. Wait and see. Watch. I've been watching already. I can tell you he is. So, this guy also covers a video here. This here.
Floor & Decor is your one.
Sorry about that.
Stop shop for the best flooring and installation materials, from tile to hardwood, laminate to stone.
Agents. So I'm going to get to a local news.
This is the video where, look at the
That hasn't stopped them from.
this woman's running from ICE agents. Young woman. She looks to me to be about, I don't know, 18, maybe 20, no more than that. She could even be underage, 17, 16. She just looks a little older. But she's pretty, she's slender, she fits a certain profile. And these thugs, and they are thugs, are chasing her down. And she's told them she's a United States citizen. She's speaking perfect English. I'm a United States citizen. What are you doing? They don't care. They don't care that she's a United States citizen or not. That's not what it's about. I guarantee you, they don't even have a warrant for her specifically. They're just going to kidnap her. So this is where I'm getting into the trafficking part, folks. This video in particular, as in a sea of videos about ICE and what they're doing, is one of the most disturbing to me. Because as we've seen increasingly, there are a lot of Hispanic men who are in ICE, working for ICE. And so I surmise that some of these men are traffickers. Some of these men are affiliated with gangs. Some of the, and I don't even want to call them men, some of these cowards, some of these psychopathic, evil, criminal cowards are traffickers involved with the cartels. Some of them may be involved in trafficking directly aside from the cartels. They may even have their own dark website set up for such, and they're joining ICE to traffic, to kidnap and traffic. This is actually very plausible and highly probable at this point. The organization we know is off the hook, out of control. Nobody's really running it right now. So now ICE is many things to many people. Many people are attaching themselves to this organization for their own personal enrichment and gain. Some of them are rapists. Some of them are traffickers and or rapists. Some of them are affiliated with the cartels. And they have license to abduct and kidnap. And who's to know who they're actually turning into the system and who they're keeping? And even the ones they turn into the system, they're not adequately tracking properly. This, anybody? Detainees missing from ICE database after entering Alligator Alcatraz. Hundreds of detainees at Florida's new immigration detention center, nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz, have effectively vanished from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE online databases. Reporters from Democracy Now! And the Miami Herald found that of approximately 1,800 individuals detained at the remote Everglades facility in July 2025, around 800, nearly 1,000, no longer appeared in the ICE database. Furthermore, another 450 detainees were listed only as call ICE for details. Attorneys and families alike say this lack of transparency makes it nearly impossible to locate detainees, contact them, or confirm whether they have been transferred or deported. A lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties Union against the state of Florida and the U.S. government alleges that a lack of due process violates the First Amendment detainees. So, as far as we know, and this is updated as of December 9th, they still have not been located. That's like 1,500 right there. It's probably more. I mean, this is just one instance where it's being documented. There's probably more. These people cannot be located by their family and loved ones. They still haven't been located. This is after many, many months. So I submit to you. Are there mass graves in the Everglades? Have 1,500 people been murdered and buried in the Everglades? Which, of course, we know in the Everglades can never be found. The alligators would feast. That's why it's called Alligator Alcatraz. And they taunted this. Kristi Noem, and Donald Trump, his entire administration, taunted about alligators eating the detainees. It's just one small step to actually make that a reality, right? Just one small step. Hunger Games, anybody? Imagine taking 1,000 of these folks, or 1,500, however, and letting them loose in the Everglades. Say, there you go, get lost. Try to escape. And they run off into the Everglades, never to be seen again and eaten by alligators. That's a mass grave of a sort, in effect. Or they just murdered outright. Or how about some sadists that join up for ICE? And there are sadists in ICE right now. I'll tell you that. That's who goes to ICE right now. The sadists are lining up to work for ICE. You know, a few of them getting their jollies off and grabbing some defendants and corralling them and sticking them in a pen and having alligators tear them to shreds for shits and giggles, right? This is everything that can be transpiring as we type, speak, discuss. All this can be happening because there is no oversight. There is no accountability. The CIA, the FBI, the Department of Justice, every law enforcement organization is on board with this. They support this. They support Donald Trump. They support this. This is what they want. This is the face of America. This is what they think is great and good. It's a world upside down. In oligarchia. You know, I have a theory about the Hunger Games and books like this and fictional accounts like this in being made into movies in Hollywood. It's to disguise and to fictionalize what actually is the intent of the oligarchs. To ultimately treat us in the most malevolent way as bread and circuses. And so we don't think it's real until it is, because it's been so fictionalized and overdone and overcooked by mass entertainment. It's almost a strategy to hide it, to hide the debauchery. So yeah, mass graves and trafficking, ICE, perhaps. It's many things. It's not about detaining criminals who are here illegally and deporting them from the country. It's not about that. As we've seen, the statistics show that that's a small percentage of who they're detaining. It's about pushing the envelope on civil rights. It's about terrorizing the population overall. It's exactly in the same sentiment as what was done in Germany in the 1930s and late 20s. Exactly in the same sentiment. To terrorize a population into obedient capitulation. I mean, the criminally insane in Germany in the 30s and 40s were off the hook. They were joining the Nazi Party en masse. It was a field day for them. An absolute field day for them. For them to get their rocks off systemically and mechanistically through the system. A incredibly violent, malevolent system that attracted, nay, recruited people like this. And that's what ICE is doing now. That girl, I don't believe she ever would have gone to a detention facility. She never would have been found by her stepfather. They would have, I believe, she came so close to being trafficked, they would have raped her, gang raped her, and they would have sold her off. And the FBI, they know who all these traffickers are. They have a listing right now, identified, investigated, in the 3,000s of Russian sex traffickers operating in the United States. They don't arrest these people. They just watch. Sadistically, they watch, like the malevolent, psychopathic voyeurs that they are. Just as they watch me, they watch that. They watch it transpire. I'm not that. I'm opposite of that. And that's why they watch me. Because I'm opposite of that. They don't like people that shake their finger at that. They don't like their people who shake their finger at sex traffickers. And how the government supports sex trafficking. They'll do a bust every now and then, the government. But you know what they're busting? They're busting the competition for the more prominent sex traffickers. And they make it appear like they're cracking down on sex trafficking when they're not. They're all for it, as a matter of fact. Look at Epstein. All right, that's it. Bye.